Hey guys, it's Jessica. I'm back for my Monday meal plan slash tips for you. I hope that you had a wonderful Easter. It was a little different this year. I'm kind of curious, did you or did you not make a ham? Because if you did, then I bet that you have a ton of leftovers, even feeding our large family of 6. We have quite a bit of ham left over, but I am not worried about it because I usually make ham every few months, and therefore I know that I need to have recipes that I can use the leftover ham, and I kind of have a strategy for using it up, making sure that we have no waste. If you watch my meal plan from last week, you know that I talked about how during this Corona and COVID-19 time that we are in with quarantine, we're not able to go to the grocery store as often as we were before. We shouldn't be, and we're just trying to protect ourselves. And so, having a meal plan is really important, and we want to make sure that we are not wasting any of the food that we do have in the house, as we just need to be really responsible about that. So, I was thinking about sharing with you 3 really easy ways to use up your ham and some tips to kind of go along with that, because I know a lot of people are thinking, do I really want to eat ham for the rest of the week? Well, no, of course not. So let's talk about what you can do with your leftover ham without getting sick of ham. That's a lot of ham in that sentence. But anyways, Easter for us was wonderful. I have really, if I'm really honest, have been struggling with being at home just constantly. I am naturally a homebody, but we have 4 children. I'm homeschooling those 4 kiddos. It's just crazy. It's just such a, I feel like we're kind of working into a new routine, but it's just such a different routine than what we were doing before. And I'm a mom that likes to take my kids to do things, and that's kind of how we entertain and how we stay busy. And just not having that choice has been really hard. But Easter was kind of a blessing. You know, we're in our 5th week of having church virtually, and so we kind of had a groove for that. And it was really nice to be able to just wake up. We made homemade cinnamon rolls. I had a plan to make my passed away grandmother of mine icebox rolls, she called them. They're like a crescent roll recipe, and I was making a ham and some veggies and homemade potatoes. And so it was kind of a day of cooking for sure, but we also snuck in there just time to talk about Jesus and what Easter and was really about. We watched some really cool videos on Amazon. That kind of were like reenact, it was like the Bible or something like that. And we had an Easter egg hunt. Of course, the kids found their Easter baskets in the house right away in the morning. And so, you know what? It was really nice. The only thing I missed was kind of that getting dressed up and taking that family picture. I saw a lot of people, you may be one of them, that dressed up still and took a family picture. I thought that was super fun. We were literally in our pajamas the entire day. So, and covered in flour, because there was lots of baking and yeast rising and flour and dough kneading going on in our house, which I finally got the hang of. Because if you've known me for the last couple of years, I've had trouble baking and making things rise, but everything turned out so good yesterday. So anyways, back to my 3 easy ways to use up your ham and tips to make it work for your family. Number 1, if you made a spiral sliced ham like we did, and you probably already have some really nice chunks of ham that are still left over. Of course, you can have a regular old ham sandwich. That's nothing fancy to share with you. But what I want to encourage you and give you something a little bit different to give it a whole new flavor is to make a grilled ham sandwich. Like, I could say a grilled ham cheese, or you could say it's a panini, right? Have you ever gotten out your George Foreman grill and pressed it? If you don't have like an actual panini maker, press it like that and then whip up some real tasty mayonnaise, you know, add some seasonings or make it spicy, or a ranch sauce would be really good, and make it a completely different sandwich. And it's going to feel like a whole new meal for you. So you could do that for lunch, you could do that for dinner. We have enough to to do that. So grilled ham sandwiches. Also, another idea for sandwiches would be if you had some rolls and you could follow that Hawaiian baked ham sandwiches, which comes with like a sauce that you make to kind of like drizzle over the sandwiches. They're really messy to eat. They have lots of cheese on them, and those are also really good in a really simple way to make a lot of food at once if you have a big family like mine. The second way I'm going to use up my ham is more kind of getting into like the chunks. You know, it's kind of annoying to like put 10 pieces of little ham. It's kind of like making a puzzle on a sandwich. And so I'll use all those ham chunks for a scalloped potatoes and ham casserole, which is so easy and so cost effective. If you have some potatoes left over like we do, it's going to work out great. There are so many scalloped potatoes and ham recipes, but I'm more than willing to share mine with you, which is very simple and does not include cheese, which is very interesting because if you go over to Pinterest, you're going to see lots of recipes that have cheese in them. But I grew up eating scalloped potatoes and ham. It was kind of bland. As far as like it's just flour, milk, and salt and pepper. I think that it's fun to like add bacon and stuff in it to add a little bit more flavor for my family, but just a real traditional scalloped potatoes and ham using that leftover chunked ham is perfect. It's going to be great. And then the third thing that you can use, now if you had a bone-in ham, which we did, this is such a great tip, you guys. First of all, you could use that bone in recipes down the way. But this is what I do and what I'm going to do today. Did not do it last night. You can throw it in at night and let it cook all night, but grab your crock pot and put the leftover, all that ham that's just like, you're like, what am I even supposed to do with this? Even leave the fat on because it's going to bring more flavor. And you just add some water, probably about halfway in the crock pot, turn it on high, and just let it cook for like 6, 8, 10 hours. All of that ham is going to fall off that bone. Like it's literally going to fall off, and you're going to have all these fabulous little pieces of ham that you can use in ham soup. There's a lot of different, you can make a ham and pea soup. Or you can, if you want to use potatoes again, you can make a creamy ham and cheese soup, which is just so delicious. And we have snow on the ground today, so that sounds like a real comforting, warm meal to make. And it is just so flavorful. Serve it up with a side salad or some more homemade rolls, or maybe you have leftover rolls from Easter, and that is going to make a lot of soup. And so you can also freeze it. And so that's another tip right there. If you have those ham chunks where you're like, I am sick of eating ham, then freeze the little ham chunks, and then you can take them out of the freezer. You can make your ham soup in a couple weeks or a month or so when everyone's forgot about all the ham that they've been eating. But some tips to make it work if you're wanting to use up the ham and just really stretch that grocery budget is I just named 3 additional meals. That's 3 out of 7 days. I think everybody can fill in, don't eat it all in one day or make it all in one day or the next 3 days, because we just had it yesterday as well. It's going to be good for a week, okay? So just plan in some other things. So I'll share with you our meal plan for this week, since that's what I normally do, and you can see how I kind of spread it out, which will help my family to not complain like we're having ham again. It's like, well, yes, indeed we are. So tonight we're going to cook out. I have some hamburgers that we're going to cook out with, and maybe maybe some chicken. We'll see. But tonight we're gonna cook out. We have some fresh vegetables so that we can use up from yesterday. And we'll just kind of have like a little smorgasbord like that. We have some snacks in the cupboard, and we're gonna just have a little cookout. Maybe make some beans or something like that. Tomorrow we still have leftovers from last week still, and so for us it made sense for me to put on my meal plan to make sure that we're using up those leftovers. The kids being home, they've really enjoyed just making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on their own. I am not going to complain about that. And so we need to eat up those leftovers at some point, not the ham. And so this week is going to be really great for cooking. Wednesday, I'm going to make that scalloped potatoes and ham. Thursday, I'm going to make a blueberry French toast bake. I have some bread ends that I'm going to use. I have frozen blueberries in the freezer, and I have cream cheese that I can make a cream cheese drizzle. It's going to be a glorious dinner for the kids. I still have bacon from that Quick Trip special, and we'll serve that on the side for a little protein. Friday, we're going to have frozen pizzas, guys. Easy. Saturday, I'm going to make my ham soup, okay? Now I am going to do the bone in the crock pot today, and so it's going to be ready to go. And then on Sunday, we're going to have chicken kebabs, hopefully on the grill. That's the plan. I don't know what the weather is going to be. I'm not the type that checks the weather. So chicken kebabs on the grill with, I think if I planned it right, will have just enough potato left to either make up some like toss in olive oil, like roasted potatoes, or baked potatoes, you know, with sour cream and cheese topping and everything like that. So that is our plan, and I am so curious to hear how you guys are eating during COVID-19, how your meal plans are going, how your Easter was. I really hope it was good and relaxing like ours was. So if you're looking for some other meal ideas, make sure you check out my video from last week, which was titled Meal Planning During COVID-19. And it included lots of tips on how you can get started if you're new to meal planning, and how to maximize those grocery trips as we head out in full gear, right? In our masks, our gloves, everything. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from you.